So this is where we do a deep dive into an upcoming event or tournament. We'll break it down so you have all the info you need to either cheer on the underdog or root for the dominant world champ.
I feel like that's Super Bowl reference.
That's fair. And we are here to let you know the differences so you feel, quote, in the know when someone asks why you're shouting at your computer screen all day long.
You know, we say computer, but I'm going to just say that you can watch this on your Xbox or on your phone.
It's true. You can,
I bet you there's a lot
screens.
of mobile viewers.
A lot of mobile viewers, and we love you just the same.
Now, knowing the story of the players and what they're fighting for helps, so we'll be kicking off extended preview today to talk about the Rainbow Six Siege 6 Invitational 2018 tournament kicking off next week, Tuesday through Sunday, right here on Mixer and other live streaming platforms.
Now, so everybody in the chat, who's a fan of Rainbow Six Siege? I assume Lennox is. That has been voted. He is there. So we'll introduce you to what the 6 Invitational is, dissect the tournament format so you know what it takes for a team to win, and also highlight some of the participants you'll see over the weekend. Now, it wouldn't be a preview without looking at the current storyline, so you can look forward to that. And remember, it's a live show, so ask questions about the event in chat.
Just go ahead. Hold that for just a little bit long.
I'll do it.
No, just keep it there. And now read the rest of it.
The 2018 6 Invitational is taking place February 13th through the 18th, live at the Toho. I've lost
Is it the Toho?
Yeah, I don't know. Toho? In Montreal. And this year it's shaping up to be twice as big as last year's event. Pretty good.
In the first 3 days of the competition, we'll see 16 teams battle it out in online group play, where half of them will be eliminated, and next up comes a 3-day main event, where the remaining 8 teams will compete for a piece of the $500,000 prize pool, and of course, the title of world champion.
Exactly. Now, these 16 teams fought through game after game in the ladder stage. Nearly 1,000 games were played out across all 3 of the regions, with over half taking place in EU alone. Obviously, truly earned their way into this competition.
Montreal. For those who picked up on the Year 3 pass, you get 8 new operators with 7-day early access, 8 exclusive headgears and uniforms, an R6 meteorite charm, 600 R6 credits, plus some fun discounts and boosts. And since they've reached the map data limit, instead of adding a new map, Ubisoft has decided. Huh?
Oh no, you're right. I just like saying
ubiquitous. That's how I learned it.
Ubi.
I always said Ubi.
Yeah.
And then I met somebody doing an Assassin's Creed stream, and it's like ubiquitous. The word.
Ubiquitous.
Ubisoft, ubiquitous.
But I like saying Ubi.
We'll get to that anyway. All right. So instead of adding a new map, Ubisoft has decided to rework one. Some of the guesses as to which one it'll be are Hereford, Yacht, or Favela. Excuse me.
Okay, so as for the Operation Chimera fans, they can look forward to Outbreak, Chimera. It's whatever you remember in Mission Impossible 2? No? Is that just me? Tom Cruise, anybody?
Yeah,
it was the disease was called Chimera.
Chimera.
Anyway.
Do you ever play Resistance? Fall of Man?
I have not
You guys
played
remember
Resistance.
that?
Has
PS3
anyone in
launch
the
game,
chat
Resistance, Chimera?
Chimera? At any rate, that's happening. So
Speaking of Mission Impossible,
fans can
red light, green light. That was the best line of that whole movie series.
Killing me. Look forward to Outbreak, which is R6's first ever co-op event where players will be facing a mysterious infestation in a quarantine town. Also what I do on Tuesdays. This PvE event will last 4 weeks. There'll be 3 event exclusive maps to play through. Now, just a heads up, these maps are pretty huge and consist mainly of outdoor areas. The difficulty levels are normal or pandemic, where friendly fire is turned on, and you can go down with just a few hits. Your foes won't be taking cover, and they love close combat, so you'll need to play tactically as a team in order to succeed.
You know what? I love that Ethan knew my Resistance reference, because all he does on Tips and Tricks is talk about how he plays other platforms instead of the Xbox One that he works at. Just keep that in mind. Now, if you want to show some love for your team of choice, you can unlock their charms. 30% of the revenue for the charms will be given to the respective teams. So get decorated, support your team, and live that charmed life.
Live that. Oh, nicely done. Now, the 6 invitational groups have been drawn, and now we can see what the full competition bracket is going to look like. In order to keep the groups at a similar competitive level, the participants of the 6 invitational split into 3 tiers. Multiple teams from Tier 1 and Tier 2 could not be in the same group. Drawing took place January 19th. Set the groups A, B, C, and D, each with 2 top-tier teams and 2 lower-tier teams.
I'm sorry, I was looking at the letters. You're going to have to go ahead because I totally wasn't paying attention.
Group play starts next week and consists of a GSL-style double elimination bracket with the best of 3 matches throughout. Now, the top 2 teams from each group will advance to the playoffs, which is a single elimination bracket. To maximize the drama and action of this high-stakes event, the grand final will be best of 5.
Now, let's take a closer look at the 16 teams competing in the Invitational. There is a mountain of competition going into the tournament, so we're going to look at the teams in selections, grouping them the way they were granted a coveted spot in the 6th Invitational. So let's start with a look at the current Kings of Siege, the Pro League champions.
That's true. Now, this selection of teams are mainstays of the top brackets in the Siege esports community. The European region will give us teams Penta and ENCE. Penta famously won back-to-back Pro League championships for the first and second seasons of Year 2, while is it ENCE or is it ENCE? Gosh, this is the same one that I was like ERA.
It's Leviosa, not Leviosa.
Leviosa. Upset Penta. So ENCE, ENCE, however they want to hear it, they upset Penta, which is really what we should be paying attention to win Year 2, Season 3. Now, their performances, and I just hit my mic again, sorry, Cass. Their performances in those seasons earned them invitations to this Invitational. So the only odd duck out of this flock is CLG, formerly Elevate. Now, CLG qualified for the 6th Invitational by taking 2nd place in the Year 2, Season 2. You might need a piece of paper for this. Year 2, Season 2 Pro League Championship. Now, Penta won that season, but since Penta had already accepted an invitation, it was given to Counter Logic Gaming, CLG. Though it might seem that CLG needs to prove themselves, the NA team earned their place at the top and can stand shoulder to shoulder with the European juggernauts.
The next type of teams fighting at the Invitational are the Year 3, Season 3 regional champions, which include Evil Geniuses, Black Dragons, and is that EINS?
It's ENIS, that's right. ENCE.
It's not like EINS.
No, it's EINS, and then it's ENCE. I hope I'm getting this right.
All right.
Thank you.
Oh, wow, you couldn't have said that
Justification.
like, 1 paragraph ago.
I was too loud, that's fair.
These 3 teams were all seeded because they topped their regions during the last season. There is some decent talent amongst these teams, and only time will tell if they can transform their momentum from the last season into success at the Invitational, especially considering the heavy hitters they are up against. It certainly seems like Evil Geniuses might be looking for a little payback against ENCE.
Thank you, Tabs.
Who knocked them out at the Season 3 finals. Either way, there's plenty for these teams to tackle at this event.
It's true. Now, next up, we're talking online qualifier teams. These teams were seeded due to their performance in their respective online regional qualifier tournaments that took place last month. Now, for the EU qualifier, Rome Factory. For the NA qualifier, ERA Eternity. From the LATAM qualifier, Gaming, formerly lacked a different name. And for the APAC qualifier, Mind Freak. Mind Freak, that franchise is making so, I know. Whatever. Mind Freak, guys, pay attention. They're coming from Australia. They're all over the place. This is awesome. Normally, that would be all the teams out of the online qualifiers. However, since ENCE claimed both the regional championship spot and the Pro League championship spot, the EU region was granted another qualifier spot, leading to our 5th online regional qualifier team, Supremacy. Now, there are some real powerhouse teams coming out of this selection. And you can bet they will all come out guns a-blazing for a shot. Get it? At the title. Finger guns, pew, 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 pew.
The next selection is the invited teams, those teams that were hand-selected by Ubisoft to appear at the event. These teams are FaZe Clan, formerly Team Font, and then Team Liquid, and that was formerly Mopa Team, Rogue, and 1UP Esports. Now, these teams are top-tier contenders in the Siege scene that, for whatever reason, were unable to qualify for the 6th Invitational. 1UP Esports, for example, placed first for the EU region in the Open Ladder event for Season 3, but lost out during the best-of-5 final to Supremacy, effectively ending their Invitational dreams. Now, all of these teams have proved themselves in the past and deserve to be in this event, and Ubisoft took notice, granting these fan-favorite teams a second shot at glory.
Yeah, that'll work. Now, this last group consists of only one team. I'll get there. Team Vitality. Now, proceeding through a bracket of their own, Team Vitality was voted through 2 stages of online polling, asking community members to decide which team deserves to go to the 6th Invitational. Now, Stage 1 consisted of 4 polls, with the winner of each poll proceeding to Stage 2. Stage 2 consisted of a final poll, pitting the 4 teams selected against each other. We had Team Vitality that won, beating out Mantis FPS, Flipside Tactics, and Burke Esports.
Is it Burke?
Brack. It is now. Vitality is truly the little team that could place sixth in the open ladder event before being completely knocked out in the first round of the offline playoffs, so good thing they've been voted on. But a multitude of fans and French personalities alike rallied and saw to it that their story didn't end there. It'd be fun to see whether they can continue their luck or whether their carriage?
That's definitely 2 R's. Yep. I can't see either. Don't worry.
That's fair. Their carnage will turn into a carriage and then back into a pumpkin during the event.
There's a lot riding on success for all of the 16 teams involved, and they are all eager to prove their worth and skill. With stakes like these, it always leads to outstanding performances. And if there was ever a lineup to deliver Killer Siege action, it's this one.
That's absolutely true. Now, heading into this invitational, we'll see many passionate players ready to fight for the #1 spot. However, it's hard to predict who will be victorious, especially with how much things have been shaken up this year. Now, ERA Eternity may seem like they have some fight behind them with their second-place win in last year's Rainbow Six Invitational. This team is returning to take what was close to them last year, especially as Continuum, the first-place winners of 2017's Invitational, seemingly nowhere to be found in this year's roster. Ooh.
This is where things get tricky, although ERA, even though I want to say ERA, may have placed second. Yep, I heard a yes. May have placed second in last year's Invitational. The team's roster is nowhere near the same, as K9 is the only returning player, while Avion, Eclipse, and is that Slashig all moved over to Team Rogue. So Rogue is the closest thing to the runner-up. Plus, Rogue was directly invited to the Invitational, while ERA had to earn their seed through the NA qualifier.
Sure. Now, however, not everything is going great for Rogue right now. One of their lead players, King George, formerly of championship team Continuum, has actually taken a break from Rogue after community drama sparked up at the end of last year. He has since been replaced by newcomer Easily, and who knows how Easily will fare with the rest of the team during this Invitational. This could really shake up their chances of winning easily.
I knew it was coming. I knew. I was like, this is too ripe. You kept the pun out. I saw it too. I read ahead, and I knew she was going to do it anyway.
To this show.
This is why we're going to have another one of those. You should come watch this show, and Kate's doing this stuff again. Now, speaking of newcomers this season, Mindfreak joins in on the PC competitions. Originally getting their start on Xbox, Mindfreak earned their spot in the Invitational after their win at the APAC qualifiers, but who knows how well their team's coordination will transfer over between systems, and if it will be on par of the more seasoned PC players. While teams like FaZe and Liquid are brand new to the organization, but not with entirely new teams either, Liquid decided to join the Rainbow Six scene by acquiring MOPA Team on January 15th, which seemed to spark FaZe Clan's interest, who then acquired Team Font just 3 days later. See, we talked about these changes earlier, giving you the former names.
Sure.
Although, you say sure, there's a test after this. Hope you remember that.
Toast.
Although new to the org, these teams are no strangers to the world of esports, and the players they acquired are no strangers to Rainbow Six either. It's truly anyone's guess on how they will do moving forward.
Absolutely. Now, if anything, Evil Geniuses may be just the team to fear this Invitational. Now, they may seem like the newcomers, but don't let the name fool you. Back in November, Evil Geniuses acquired Continuum's roster. Well, everyone but King George, of course, you know, the front runner. Although they may be under a different name, these players' tactics are what won them the 2017 Invitational. So player best be ready. The champions are here to fight, just with a different t-shirt. Now, all these newcomers and roster changes, there's almost no way to predict how this Invitational will end. Really, we can't wait to see what happens this year. That's what it says.
Oh, no, I'm agreeing. I'm just thinking of how much we read, and there's so much that I need to catch up on. I want to go read through all that again and be like, I didn't figure any of it out.
Dive right in, deep end of pool. Which will have to be deep because
I hope we can swim.
How tall are you?
Only like 6'4".
And at any rate, that wraps up our extended preview segment of the 6th Invitational 2018 event kickoff next week. Whew.
Somehow we did it.
Looks like we
But there's
made
more.
it.
For those of you who haven't gotten a chance to play the game as of yet, you're in luck. Next week, starting on Thursday, February 15th. Hey, by the way, I won't be here. Through Sunday the 20th, Rainbow Six Siege will be free to play on Xbox, PS4, and PC. That means there is no excuse not to check out the game after you're done watching the tournament, so be sure to give it a try.
It's true. Now, you can watch the event on the Rainbow Six Mixer channel. That's mixer.com/Rainbow the word rainbow, and the number 6. And it begins on Tuesday with group matches starting at 10 a.m. Eastern. That's 7 a.m. Pacific, so if you're on the bus or something, take a look.
I like how it was the word rainbow, like somebody was just going to rainbow emoji in the URL.
First of all, if that were possible, who here would do it? Chat, can you agree? Agreed. Now, the opening ceremony for the live event will take place on Friday at 9:30 a.m. That's in the Eastern, and a blisteringly early 6:30 a.m. Pacific, and launch right into that first quarterfinal.
I don't know, I'm up like that. Now, don't worry if you can't check out the beginning portions of the Siege action. We'll be recapping the results up until that point on next week's episode of the show. So come on back and watch Malik try to rant on which team is really the best in Rainbow Six.
Now, before we go, what was the, how do you say it? I say Ubisoft, but it's not right. Ubisoft. Before we go, Ubisoft has already released their vision for Rainbow Six Esports going all the way to 2020. So kudos to them and the Rainbow Six community for supporting the competitive side so very, very strongly. They released a quick video all about it, and we'll leave you with that after we shine off.
We'll be right here every Thursday. Well, actually, not so much. We're doing Marilyn Malik next week, right? 3 p.m. Pacific, 6 p.m. Eastern on this channel, mixer.com/thisweekinesports. Be sure to watch our past episodes right below on our channel page and follow us on Twitter at WatchMixer for updates on the show and to know what's happening in the wide world of esports. Also, tune into our favorite, #Esports Weekend, starting at 8 a.m. Pacific this Saturday. We only show esports content on mixer.com/channel1 during the weekends. And this Saturday, we'll be showing off the Paladins console series and Madden Ultimate League on Sunday. We'll be showing more Paladins alongside Halo World Championship EU qualifiers.
We basically got your entire weekend plan, so if you were looking to get in on the Valentine's Day stuff early, SOL. And finally, don't forget to watch our sister show. I can't read that, so I don't know if it's...
Tips and tricks.
I was going to try to go over it without saying it. God.
Oh, we got to give them the good plug.
That's fair.
Yeah.
Tips and tricks every Tuesday.
Every Tuesday, 6 p.m. Eastern, 3 p.m. Pacific on mixer.com/tips and tricks. I watch. It's fun.
Yay! We'll be hosting Asika. You know what? Kudos for a cool name. Sorry, I couldn't pronounce it. We'll be hosting Asika, who is playing Laser League with some of the devs, so stick around. It's like fun, competitive 2v2 gameplay, and we cannot wait to get our hands on it, so goodbye. And stick around.
I thought you were going to say so long. Farewell.
Auf Wiedersehen, goodbye.
Yes, I was going to be stuck in all your guys' heads later. And stick around for the raid host after the video. Appreciate y'all. We'll see y'all next time. In like a month, maybe.
Welcome to the competitive world of Rainbow Six Siege. We invite you to join us in all the exciting action coming to the scene in the next few seasons. We've seen the Siege scene flourish over the last 2 years, growing season on season in competition and scale. The pro scene is going from strength to strength, and we are excited to share with you the scope for the next 2 years. Our new structure is broken down into tiers that allow a wide range of competition. At the bottom of the ladder is our grassroots entry level, where competitive play is introduced. It's open to everyone, so get involved. Next up, LAN events will be organized throughout the year in several major territories, including DreamHack. Then we have the Pro League, where teams compete at the highest level. The Pro League will last 6 months, starting June 2018 in a new format, and it will cover 4 major regions across the globe: Europe, North America, Latin America, and Asia Pacific will all maintain the Pro League as its competition, where the top teams will fight for glory. Over the 6-month season, each team in the league will face each other twice in a classic double round-robin format. During the on-season weeks, each team will compete in 1 match. At the end of the 6-month season, the leading teams of each region will take part in offline finals. 8 teams will battle it out to be crowned Pro League champions with a $275,000 prize pool at stake. Each will win a piece of that prize. Then, the majors, where the most intense competitions happen. Twice a year, the major events take place, gathering 16 teams from all around the world, competing for a huge prize pool. Aside from the competitions, these events will be a true celebration of Rainbow Six, complete with side activities, swag, and eager crowds ready to support the teams. The first one of which will take place in Paris, August 2018. And then, the ultimate challenge, the Six Invitational in February 2019, celebrating the anniversary of Rainbow Six Siege by gathering pro players, fans, and developers in the born city of the game, Montreal. For more information, make sure to check the regular updates on our website. Join us, the players, the teams, and the fans, on our journey over the next 2 years of Rainbow Six.